Hello, my Archeage friends. This is Ariad on my character September from the Dynasterius server. In this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a hard look at the Diligent Coins, what they are worth to me, what they are worth to you, when you should spend them, and when you shouldn't. Chances are by now, if you play Archeage, you already know what a Diligent Coin is. But for those that don't, just allow me a moment to lay down the foundation. All right, so pretty much what a Diligent Coin is, it's XL and Gamingo's way of making the Archeage game, which was originally designed to be a cash shop or a micro-transaction type game, to not one. So essentially a Diligent Coin is a special currency that allows you to purchase items that in traditional Archeage was only available from the cash shop. Now, I'm not going to get into the systems in which the Diligent Coins are acquired. There's plenty of videos out there for that. Just know that this is a special currency that allows you to buy items that previously in other versions of Archeage had to be purchased with real-life cash. All right, so what I wanted to do in this video is to come up with a way to place a value on a Diligent Coin that is fair to everybody and everybody can agree upon. If we can do that, then we can essentially ascertain the value of anything that would subsequently be purchased with those Diligent Coins. So with this info, we can determine if something is worth buying with Diligent Coins, or should you spend your gold on it if you can instead. That actually proves to be a fairly easy thing to do because Diligent Coins can buy labor recharges, and labor can be broken down into silver per labor ratios. Alternatively, we could have took the value of something that is tradable, like the wagon upgrade tickets or the expansion scrolls. I mean, I'm sure if you're playing Archeage, you know that those are being asked and advertised quite a bit. We could have taken those values and did some math, but I don't like those because those are subjective and eventually people just won't need either of them, which will drive the prices of those down. You know, perhaps they just don't care about it to begin with. I mean, some people are not going to be upgrading their haulers. And the other thing I don't like about the expansion scrolls or the upgrade tickets is it actually takes 30 or more Diligent Coins, which means you have to save up for some time to get those. Ideally, to find the most appropriate value of a single Diligent Coin, we want to find something that is easy to get, meaning it costs as low amount of Diligent Coins as possible, and it is also something that everybody is going to use, which is why I went with the labor recharge potions. They basically cost 5 Diligent Coins each, which is a low amount, though you do have to buy 2 at a time. But anybody playing Archeage will be using labor. And the great thing about that is anybody that is using labor probably has some kind of silver to labor ratio that they're comfortable with. So what I did is I put together a spreadsheet that uses silver to labor ratios and the labor that you get from using the labor recharge potions. And then that converts it into a value per Diligent Coin. From there, we can see exactly what the value of everything is in everything that costs Diligent Coins, everything in the shop cost. This will answer many questions that you may have as to whether should you spend your Diligent Coins on something, or craft it, or simply buy it off the auction house if it's available. All right, so here is the spreadsheet, and it should look fairly simple. It is simple to use. So at the top here, all you have to do is enter what you expect to get from using labor. So for example, if you're just starting out and let's say you're doing something like freshwater fishing, I made a video about that. The video is called Making Gold, Everybody Can Do It. It's my most popular video here on the channel. In there, I talk about freshwater fishing, and in that video, I showed my character with no skill, no nothing. The only thing he had was a pair of Don's Drop boots, which you get anyway. And he was earning 5 points silver per labor point. So what that means is if I spent my 10 diligent coins, I would get an additional 1,975 labor to my pool, and that would make me an additional 108-ish gold based off of that 5.4 silver per labor ratio. From there, let's say I want to buy a bag expansion scroll. I would just scroll down this sheet here. I've got it highlighted here in green. And you could see that based on my earnings, that scroll to me is worth 324 gold, 28 silver. So if the scrolls on the auction house, the expansion scrolls, are cheaper than 324 gold, I know that I should not spend my diligent coins on that expansion scroll. I should buy labor, earn gold, and then buy that expansion scroll off the auction house instead. And also this sheet is adaptive. And what I mean by that is I know many of you probably earn more silver per labor than just what I entered here, the 5.4. And that is true even for me. So for example, I have an alt that I've only been fishing with, and she has 130K fishing, which means I get a labor discount, which means I'm closer to 7.5 silver per labor point. And she can, and really what she does is she just fishes freshwater, and she does it so quickly. Like I can spend my whole day's labor in less than an hour. So this tells me that on that character who is earning 7.5 silver per labor point, that tells me that a diligent coin to me on that account is worth 14.8125 gold to her. That means, again, let's use the same example. If I wanted a bag expansion scroll on this account, I know that if it is less than 448.38 gold, that's the calculations here, the sheet adapts, I would just buy it off the auction house instead of using my diligent coins for it. All right, so up here at the top of the spreadsheet, I know this may be a little confusing. I put in here I allowed for the baseline labor to be changed because you can, in theory, earn 2,000 labor for the 2 labor recharges. You simply have to spread out using them over 2 days. So the way those labor recharges work is each one that you use gives you less and less labor per day. Eventually, you'll get down to where one's only worth 500 labor, when it started out worth 1,000. So the more you use, the less they give you. Anyway, if you buy 2 of them and you use 2 a day, you will get 1,975 labor. You can change that to 2,000 if you would like. All right, so I hope that explains the spreadsheet well enough for everybody. And I also feel like this is a very agreeable manner in which we can evaluate the value of a single diligent coin. I know there are going to be some people that are earning more or less, and that's why I made those fields editable. So just put in what you want, and it'll tell you exactly what you need. Now, if you look down this list, there are some items which are bold and in red, and those items are simply insane. Like, you should not even consider buying those with your diligent coins. Things like, if we scroll down here, the first one is the Bound Lucky Elixir. Well, that's a 60% loot drop buff for 30 minutes. In game, you can craft, anybody can craft a moonlight juice. So why? I don't know. Then the Taxer, this one really got me. It costs 10 diligent coins for a single tax certificate. And yes, that is one. I went over to the public test server and tested it. You get 1 tax cert for 10 diligent coins. Makes absolutely no sense when you can just buy those 2 labor recharges. You get enough labor to craft 30 tax certificates, and you would still even have labor left over even if you have 0 construction proficiency. So it makes absolutely no sense. And then there's things like eco fuel. Even when there was no cow pens on the server for the fertilizer to craft this, it never was even close to the 45 gold or 44 gold that this is going to cost me. Flaming Pinions, 2 Diligent Coins for something that you can buy off the general vendor for 50 silver. 50 silver for 2 Diligent Coins. I mean, I would love to trade my Flaming Pinions for Diligent Coins, even at double that rate. Anyway, there's a lot of other things like the Shadagon Sand, the Specialized Snowflake. This is stuff that should not be in the Diligent Coin shop at all, in my opinion. Or if it is, it should actually be a better value than what you could spend your gold on it. And I know that's subjective, but I mean, even 5 silver per labor point is kind of like the Archeage standard of what people should be earning on their labor. So anyway, this stuff probably should just be removed. It's really crappy. If you, like I said, if you see something that's red and bold in this list, that means it is absolutely, positively not worth spending your Diligent Coins on. There could be other items. I just wasn't for sure, but the ones that are bold red, do not buy them with Diligent Coins. If you do not know where else to get them, please ask. If I don't answer, I'm sure somebody would be glad to help you out and tell you where you can get the alternative. Now, there are some things in the Diligent Coin shop that are bind on pickup that do require you to save your coins over a period of time. Those are much harder to put a value on, but I'm talking about things like special pets, mounts, and gliders. So if you're going to be using the Diligent Coin silver to labor ratios, we can at least see what XL/Domingo thinks these things are worth. And some of those things actually have other in-game methods of acquiring them. So this list will at least help you decide which of those methods is best to get that item. For example, let's say I wanted the Astra Wings. This is actually a really nice glider. It's a Magithopter, and it costs 400 Diligent Coins. That's actually going to take some serious saving up to do, and there is an alternative method of gaining the Astra Wings, and that is by using Gilda and crafting it. So which one is best? So with the spreadsheet, you can see what the Diligent Coins are worth to you. Now you have to figure out how much it would cost to go the Gilda route, how much going the Gilda route would cost you. So for that, we would not only need the Gilda stars, but we also need an assortment of crafting materials. So what I did on this spreadsheet is I went ahead and I calculated the cost to build the Astra glider here on this other tab. And essentially what I came up with is a material list here in this table over here on the right. I calculated the expected cost based off the current server averages, and I came up with, for this character, it would cost 5,568 gold to craft the glider with Gilda, which for this character makes it actually slightly better than the, if we go back to the other tab, the 5,925 value of the Diligent Coins I would have spent. So if I was actually earning less silver per labor than the or if I was earning the 5.47 silver per labor that I was using at the beginning of this video, then that Diligent Coins are only worth 4,223 gold, which would mean that that is cheaper than the 5,568 gold in materials. So in that case, if I was earning that little silver to labor ratio, it would make more sense to buy it with Diligent Coins. Of course, the prices are going to be subject to change. They're going to have to be evaluated continually. But before I spent 400 coins on something, I definitely do the math. So all in all, pretty much I'm going to be using this spreadsheet myself quite a fair bit in the foreseeable future. I feel like it's going to help me make some educated decisions on what I should and shouldn't be spending my Diligent Coins on. And because I like to help people, I hope it helps you too. That's pretty much the whole video here in a nutshell. I did see that they brought up the test server and our characters from the media preview test period. They're still there. So they didn't wipe the server, which is great. This allowed me to get on to the test server and test the quantity of items that you get for spending Diligent Coins. The fact that you get one frickin' tax cert for 10 Diligent Coins. So don't worry, I didn't waste my live Diligent Coins on testing this. I just went over to the test server and bought everything, and then, oh, okay, well, this is what you get for that. I know that the test server, they also have a new version of the ArcPass system, and I saw that the creator Jason Weivart was already making videos on that stuff. So if you're interested in taking a look at the new envisioned ArcPass, you should go check out his videos. I'm not really going to make a video about it because I feel like those are subject to change at any time. It is on the test server and they're not confirmed. But if you want to take a look at it just to see at least on the lines of what they were thinking, I do recommend his videos. Okay, so that's it. If you found this video helpful or informative, please, please, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment. All that stuff, like, shares, comments, tells YouTube, hey, this video was worth watching. And therefore, they're more likely to promote it in their when someone types in something Archeage. So please, please do that. If you would like to support me, I do have all my links in the video description. I also want to thank my Patreon Cornelius for chipping in, and everybody who says thank you in game. I see a lot of you almost every day. Somebody says hi or thank you or love your videos. I like to hear that just because I know I'm reaching people. So I will have a new video coming out next week. I'm trying to do one a week. That's kind of what I'm at. I'm going to have a new video coming out next week that's going to include every single spreadsheet I've ever made for Archeage. Been playing for 4 years, so there's a lot of spreadsheets, and hopefully that will help you, especially if you like spreadsheets. It'll give you a lot of the data to just, update. Until next time, this is Arid saying, be well.